Greetings, seekers of wisdom. Have you ever wondered why in the modern world, despite all our technology and comfort, there is so much stress, anxiety, and dissatisfaction? We are constantly rushing, worrying, getting angry, comparing ourselves to others, and feeling as if life is passing us by and we don't have time to enjoy it. We seem to have fallen into a trap of our own thoughts and emotions. But what if I told you that over 2,000 years ago, there were people who developed an operating system for the human mind, allowing one to live meaningfully, calmly, and resiliently in the face of any life storms? These people are the Stoics, philosophers, emperors, playwrights, slaves, who sought not theoretical knowledge but practical wisdom for everyday life. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, their names echo through the centuries because their teachings are more relevant than ever. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions and having a stone face. It's about the art of living, the art of distinguishing what we can control from what is beyond our power, the art of meeting difficulties not as curses but as opportunities for growth. Today, we won't delve into complex theory. Instead, we will act like true Stoics, practically. We will analyze 7 common mental mistakes that each of us makes almost daily, mistakes that poison our lives, steal our energy, and prevent us from being happy, mistakes that a true Stoic, armed with their philosophy, would never commit. This video is your chance to audit your thinking, to learn what mental viruses prevent you from living a full life, and to receive an antidote proven over centuries. Ready? Then let's begin. Mistake number 1: worrying about what is outside our control. This is arguably the most fundamental and most common mistake. How much energy do we spend every day worrying about things we cannot influence? We worry about the weather, traffic jams, the political situation in the world, what other people think of us, the past that cannot be changed, and the future that has not yet arrived. Our mind turns into a bubbling cauldron of anxieties. We replay negative scenarios in our heads, get angry at circumstances, resent people for their actions. As a result, we are exhausted, irritated, and completely ineffective where our influence truly could make a difference. The Stoics called this the primary mistake of an ignorant person. The foundation of their teaching is what Epictetus, a former slave who became a great philosopher, called the dichotomy of control. He said, "Of existing things, some are within our power, others are not. Within our power are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Outside our power are our body, property, reputation, public career, and, in a word, whatever are not our own actions." Just ponder this simple yet powerful idea. The only thing we truly have is our inner world, our judgments, our decisions, our reactions. Everything else is external. Health? We can eat right and exercise, but we cannot guarantee ourselves freedom from illness. Wealth? We can work hard, but an economic crisis can wipe out our savings. The love of other people? We can be kind and caring, but we cannot force someone to love us. A modern example: you are preparing for an important interview. You can perfectly prepare your resume, research the company, rehearse answers to possible questions, get enough sleep, and arrive on time. All of this is within your power. But you cannot control the interviewer's mood, whether they have personal biases, the number of other candidates, or the company's internal decision. A person making this mistake will worry all night. What if they don't like me? What if they already have a candidate in mind? They will come to the interview exhausted from anxiety. And if rejected, they will blame themselves, the circumstances, the unfairness of the world. A Stoic, however, would focus solely on their zone of control. They would tell themselves, "My task is to present myself in the best possible light. I will do everything within my power. The outcome is beyond my control. I will accept it with dignity, whatever it may be." This approach not only minimizes stress, but also paradoxically increases chances of success because you act from a state of calm and confidence, not panic. As Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, said in his Meditations, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Practical advice. Every time you feel anxiety or anger, ask yourself a simple question. Is what I'm worrying about within my complete control? If the answer is no, tell yourself, that's not my business, and shift your attention to what you can control right now, your breathing, your actions, your reaction. Mistake number 2, being a slave to your passions and emotions. Anger, fear, envy, resentment, familiar feelings? The modern world often encourages emotional indulgence. We are told vent, don't bottle it up. But most often, by giving in to emotions, we only worsen the situation. A fit of anger destroys relationships, fear paralyzes and prevents action, envy poisons the soul and makes us feel worthless. The Stoics viewed this differently. They didn't advocate becoming emotionless robots. They understood that initial emotional reactions, they called them propathii, are natural. You're startled by a loud noise, you feel a pang of irritation in traffic. That's normal. The mistake begins when we give assent to this first reaction, when we start to amplify it and allow it to seize our mind. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome and tutor to Emperor Nero, wrote an entire treatise on anger. He called anger a brief madness. He wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." When you feel anger rising, don't act immediately. Don't shout, don't write an angry message. Pause, take a walk, breathe. Give your mind time to return and assess the situation soberly. Imagine a situation. A colleague publicly criticizes your work in a meeting. The first reaction is resentment, anger, a desire to defend yourself and attack back. This is a mistake. You let emotion take over. You start arguing, making personal remarks, and ultimately look unprofessional and lose respect. How would a Stoic act? They would feel the same initial pang of resentment, but they would not give it their assent. They wouldn't think, he wants to humiliate me, this is unfair. Instead, they would ask themselves, is there any truth in his criticism? Can I use this to improve my work? They would respond calmly and to the point, separating facts from emotions. For example, thank you for your opinion. I will consider your remarks. Perhaps you are right on some points. Such an approach disarms the opponent and preserves your own dignity and composure. You do not become a puppet in the hands of others' words or your own reactions. You remain the master of your inner world. Epictetus taught, it is not things that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. It wasn't the colleague's criticism that hurt you, but your judgment, this criticism means I am a bad professional. Replace this judgment with another. This criticism is just information that I can use or ignore, and the emotion will lose its power over you. Practical advice. The next time you feel a strong negative emotion, imagine there is a small space between the event and your reaction. This space is your freedom. Use it to take a breath and choose a conscious response rather than an impulsive reaction. Mistake number 3, living in the past or future, ignoring the present. How much time do we spend not here and not now? Our mind is a time machine that constantly carries us either to the past, full of regrets and grievances, or to the future, full of anxieties and unattainable fantasies. We replay yesterday's awkward conversation in our heads, regretting the words we said. I should have answered differently. Or we dream of Friday, of vacation, of a promotion, thinking, that's when I'll really live, that's when I'll be happy. The problem is that life happens only in one moment, the present. The past is a ghost, the future is a mirage. By expending our mental energy on what no longer exists or does not yet exist, we miss the only thing that is real. We don't notice the taste of morning coffee, don't hear the birds singing outside the window, don't engage in conversation with a loved one, because mentally we are somewhere else. Stoics were masters of mindfulness. They understood that the point of application for all our efforts is the present moment. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself in his Meditations, "Do not burden yourself with thoughts about your whole life. Don't think about how many and what kind of troubles you will probably have to endure. But with each impending task, ask yourself, what is unbearable and unsurmountable in it?" He urged focusing on the current task and performing it with maximum dedication, as if it were the last thing in your life. This approach not only increases efficiency, but also fills life with meaning. Seneca, in his Moral Letters to Lucilius, wrote about how foolish it is to postpone life. While we postpone, life speeds by. He criticized people who at 60 intend to retire and start living, not understanding that no one guaranteed them even tomorrow. Our time is already limited. A Stoic in such a